The Endangered Species Act has been a highly controversial issue in political history since its establishment in 1973. Many Republicans today continue to criticize and undermine the importance of this act, claiming its reward is not worth the effort the government exerts underneath the ESA. As a Democrat, it is detrimental that we protect the sanctity of this act and all the good it has done in the world, as well as the future good it can do if the opportunity remains. The evaluation and consideration of an act focuses heavily on the measurement of success in its truest definition. Success can present itself as many things. In this case, many judge the Endangered Species Act based on the effectiveness, such as the number of populations that have become stable and no longer meets the requirements to be classified as endangered. Other perspectives may see the ESA's success based on the amount of money and resources expended for the revival of species. However, it would be inhumane to put a price on a life due to a materialistic object like money. Furthermore, Republicans today are pushing to reform and/or repeal the Endangered Species Act because of its control over the protection of land. Meaning, because the oil business is so prominent in today's times, the demand for more land is increasing. But despite these efforts, 98% of endangered species remain protected and are saved and are continuously working toward stabilization due to the resources and commitment to those underneath the Endangered Species Act. One of the most well-known species that have been saved through the efforts of the Endangered Species Act is the bald eagle. As the nation's most iconic symbol of freedom and strength became the brand of America's democracy, it was devastating to many when its population fell dramatically in the early 1900s. Their habitats were destroyed and many were poisoned due to the increased oil production at the time. A major turning point in this decline of the nation's bird was the introduction of DDT insecticide that caused a decrease in the eagle's ability to reproduce and repopulate. With the help of the ESA, the species made an amazing recovery and was declassified as endangered in 2007. Many species that are saved by the Endangered Species Act are still fighting for their place on Earth. For example, the southern sea otter's population dropped substantially as the poaching and the fur trade became prominent in the 1900s. Through the protection of ESA, the population was able to grow and multiply without the fear of being hunted. The southern sea otter population is still considered as threatened due to the global issues that have affected their food source as well as poisoned their population, like oil spills. Nevertheless, the drastic turn of growth established by the species with the help of the ESA is considered as a tremendous success and projects a road to recovery. These species and many others are working tirelessly to grow and repopulate, but will ultimately fail without the protection of the Endangered Species Act.